In the distant reaches of the Andromeda Galaxy, among the swirling clouds of stardust and nebulae, there floated the relics of an ancient fleet. The ships, vast and varied in their designs, were like nothing ever catalogued by the current interstellar civilizations. They lay dormant in a sector long avoided, enveloped by the silent void, a region known for its deadly silence and absence of life. Dr. Ilara Miles, an astrophysicist with the Galactic Heritage Foundation, was aboard the research vessel Odyssey when the anomaly was detected. The Odyssey's deep space sensors, designed to detect and analyze historical cosmic phenomena, had stumbled upon the unusual cluster of spacecraft, setting off a flurry of excitement and skepticism among the crew. "What do you make of this, Dr. Miles?" Captain Hargrove asked, peering over her shoulder at the flickering images on the screen. Ilara adjusted her glasses, her eyes narrowing with curiosity. "These aren't just space debris, Captain. They're ships, incredibly old by the looks of them. The architecture is bizarre, nothing like what any known species has produced." "Could they be progenitor crafts?" the captain inquired, referring to the mythical first civilization believed to have seeded the stars with life. "Possibly, but we'd need closer inspection to be sure. There's something about them, though. They don't match progenitor aesthetics. We should send a drone out for a better look." Permission granted, a sleek drone was dispatched from the Odyssey, dancing through the void towards the Ghost Fleet. As the drone transmitted back detailed imagery, the crew watched in awe. The ships bore scars of battles long forgotten, hulls engraved with symbols that no one on the bridge recognized, a script flowing and intricate, yet undeniably crafted with purpose. When the drone entered one of the larger vessels through a breach in its hull, it revealed an interior preserved through time. The corridors were lined with dust-covered banners, displaying the same mysterious script. But it was the control room that held the most shocking revelation, a faded emblem, unmistakably human in origin, depicting the Earth and the Moon intertwined with a laurel wreath. "A human symbol out here?" Ilara gasped, her voice a mix of confusion and excitement. "This changes everything," Captain Hargrove murmured. "Humans weren't supposed to have ventured this far out into the galaxy, not during the era these ships suggest." The implications were staggering. Earth, considered a relatively young player in the galactic arena, had somehow produced a fleet of ships that predated any known human space exploration by millennia. Determined to learn more, Ilara proposed a daring plan. "We need to board one of these ships. If we can access its data cores, maybe we can piece together how human engineering ended up here, so far from home." Preparations began at once. A small team, including Ilara and 2 engineers, suited up for what was to be a historic EVA, extravehicular activity. They navigated through the void towards the flagship of the ancient fleet, its dark silhouette looming against the backdrop of distant stars. The airlock hissed open with a groan as centuries of disuse were disturbed. Inside, the ship was a time capsule. Displays flickered to life at their touch, systems awakening from a long slumber. Ilara led the way to what appeared to be a central database. Her fingers flew over the controls, coaxing the ancient systems to divulge their secrets. Slowly, the screen before them began to clear, showing schematics, logs, and most crucially, a star map with routes that crisscrossed galaxies, including paths that led back to Earth. "It looks like humans weren't just explorers, but pioneers of space travel, possibly even the first to navigate these routes," Ilara said, her voice filled with wonder. As the team absorbed the magnitude of their discovery, they knew that the history of human spaceflight was about to be rewritten. What lay ahead was a journey, not only back to Earth, but into the past of humanity itself, uncovering why and how their ancestors reached the stars, seeding myths and legends in their wake. The Odyssey's mission had just begun, and what they had found was only the tip of the iceberg. Back aboard the Odyssey, the atmosphere was charged with a mixture of disbelief and excitement. The discovery of human origin on such ancient starships, billions of light years from Earth, was not just unexpected, it was revolutionary. Dr. Ilara Miles spent hours in the makeshift lab set up in the main conference room, poring over the data extracted from the flagship's core. "Look at this," she pointed out to her colleague, Dr. Liam Russo, an expert in xenolinguistics. These logs aren't just travel records. They're personal accounts, stories of their journeys. It's like a captain's log, but written by multiple authors. Liam leaned closer, his eyes scanning the text that Alara had translated from the ancient script. It's poetic almost. These people, they viewed space as an ocean, vast and full of wonders. They called their fleet the Nomad Stars. It's not just technology we're looking at, it's their heritage, their life. The crew gathered around, each member trying to catch a glimpse of the screen. Captain Hargrove, who had been silently observing, finally spoke. Do we have any idea why there's no record of this back on Earth? How could such a monumental chapter of human history just vanish? Alara shook her head, frustration evident in her voice. It's as if they deliberately erased themselves from our history. Or maybe we forgot them. There's a log entry here dated, well, it would correspond to about 20,000 years ago Earth time. It mentions a great disillusionment, a decision to sail away from the known stars. They chose exile. Why, though? One of the engineers piped up. What made them leave? That's what we need to find out next, Alara replied. There's more data here, but it's encrypted. It seems to contain deeper logs and maybe even maps to other locations. The decision was made to set a course following one of the mapped routes from the ancient fleet. As they prepared for the journey, whispers of the past seemed to echo through the corridors of the Odyssey, a reminder of the untold stories waiting among the stars. Meanwhile, far from the silent void and the Odyssey's groundbreaking mission, news of the discovery began to ripple across human-controlled space. On Earth and its many colonies, governments and private entities alike were keenly aware of the implications. A fleet built by ancient humans could mean technology, power, and a legacy that many would kill to control. Unbeknownst to the crew of the Odyssey, a covert meeting was taking place in a secure location on Mars. High-ranking officials from various interstellar governments and powerful corporations were in attendance. The agenda was clear: secure the ancient fleet and its secrets at any cost. We cannot allow this technology, or the knowledge of our true capabilities, to fall into the wrong hands, a general stated, his voice firm. A retrieval team should be dispatched immediately, suggested a corporate executive. We must control the narrative and the technology. Back on the Odyssey, as they ventured deeper into uncharted space, following the ancient star maps, Alara and her team remained unaware of the political storm brewing in their wake. Their focus was on unraveling the mysteries of the human pioneers who had once traversed these starry seas, leaving behind a legacy shrouded in darkness and silence. As they approached their next destination, indicated by the star map as a significant waypoint, the crew prepared for what they might find. Would it be another fleet, a colony, or something entirely unexpected? The stars awaited them, holding the secrets of a forgotten human odyssey that could reshape the understanding of their place in the cosmos. As the Odyssey approached the coordinates marked on the ancient star map, the crew felt a mixture of excitement and apprehension. The waypoint was located near a pulsar, its rapid pulses casting eerie, rhythmic flashes across the spacecraft's hull. The area was notorious among space travelers for its intense gravitational waves and electromagnetic interference, but to the ancient humans, it seemed to have served as a beacon or a guidepost. Dr. Alara Miles, eyes fixed on the sensor readouts, coordinated with the ship's navigator to adjust their approach. "Steady," she instructed, her voice calm yet assertive. "Keep us in the shadow of that asteroid cluster. It should shield us from the worst of the pulsar's emissions." Inside the asteroid cluster, the Odyssey found a safe haven from the pulsar's relentless glare. As the ship nestled into the shadows, the crew launched a series of probes to scan the surrounding area. It wasn't long before one of the probes pinged back with intriguing data. There was an artificial structure embedded in one of the larger asteroids, its materials and construction bearing the unmistakable hallmarks of human engineering. Could this have been a meeting point? Or a hideout? Pondered Liam Russo, who had come to view the ancient fleet's journey as a saga of exile and survival. "Or maybe a waypoint indeed," Alara responded, her mind racing with possibilities. "A place to gather, to share knowledge, or to refuel and repair. Let's get a closer look." A small team, including Alara and Liam, suited up for an EVA to explore the structure. As they maneuvered through the asteroid field, the pulsar's pulses illuminated the rock formations around them, creating a surreal, almost otherworldly landscape. The structure itself was embedded deep within the asteroid, its entrance sealed by a massive airlock door. Remarkably, it bore the same human emblem they had found on the flagship, an image of Earth and the Moon, symbols of home and journey intertwined. After several tense moments, the team managed to override the airlock's ancient mechanisms, and the door groaned open, revealing the secrets held within. Inside, they found a space that was part museum, part archive. Walls lined with artifacts, tools, and faded images depicting humans and alien landscapes suggested that this waypoint was more than just a practical stopover. It was a cultural repository, perhaps meant to remind the travelers of their origins and their journeys. At the heart of the archive was a central console, surrounded by holographic displays still flickering to life as the ancient power systems were reactivated. Alara approached the console, her hands trembling slightly as she prepared to interface her device with the system. The hologram sprang fully to life, projecting images of the ancient fleet in its prime, ships in formation, traversing the cosmic seas, their crews a mix of humans and, surprisingly, several alien species. Text scrolled alongside the images, narrating stories of alliances and cooperation, of shared knowledge and mutual survival in the vastness of space. These were not just explorers, they were diplomats, pioneers in not just space travel but also interstellar relations, Liam said, awe in his voice as he recorded every detail. Alara nodded, absorbed in the data streaming through her device. There's reference here to a council, a gathering of species, and look, coordinates to other waypoints, each potentially with more pieces of this incredible history. Their discovery at the waypoint had opened up a galactic-sized puzzle, each piece hinting at the complexity and depth of human history in the cosmos. As they collected artifacts and downloaded data, the team knew they were only scratching the surface of a narrative that spanned galaxies. Meanwhile, back in human-controlled space, the repercussions of their discovery were beginning to take shape. The covert group that had met on Mars was not the only one aware of the Odyssey's mission. News had leaked, and across planets and stations, people began to talk of the ancient human fleet, sparking a renewed interest in their own origins and capabilities. The journey of the Odyssey had started as a scientific expedition, but it was quickly becoming a quest that could unite or divide the stars themselves. As the Odyssey journeyed deeper into the cosmos, guided by the newly uncovered coordinates from the waypoint, the implications of their findings began to ripple across human and alien societies alike. On Earth and its colonies, a resurgence of interest in ancient human history sparked debates, dreams, and fears. Meanwhile, in the furthest reaches of known space, alien civilizations, aware of the discoveries, contemplated the ramifications of a historically advanced human civilization. Back on the Odyssey, Dr. Alara Miles and her team prepared for the next leg of their mission. The coordinates led them to a system dominated by a blue supergiant star, its brilliant light casting an ethereal glow over a seemingly ordinary gas giant. However, the sensors detected anomalous structures in the planet's rings, structures that were unmistakably artificial. "Looks like our ancestors like to hide things in plain sight," Liam Russo commented, peering at the sensor readouts. Alara nodded in agreement. "Let's see what they left behind this time." Deploying smaller craft, the exploration team delved into the gas giant's rings. Amidst the swirling ice and rock, they discovered a series of platforms and stations, interconnected by a network of energy beams that still hummed with power. These were not merely refuges or waypoints. This was a construction site, possibly a shipyard. As they explored one of the platforms, they uncovered fabrication facilities, dry docks for ships, and even dormant robotic systems, which once reactivated, began to perform maintenance routines as if no time had passed. It was a ghostly spectacle, watching these machines tirelessly work in the silence of space. "This must have been a central hub in their network," Alara deduced, examining a star map that detailed yet more routes spreading across the galaxy. They built their ships here, maintained them, and dispatched them to explore or to colonize. Meanwhile, as the Odyssey made discoveries that could alter the understanding of human history, the political and corporate entities of the galaxy began to move. The covert group that had convened on Mars was not idle. They dispatched a fleet, cloaked and silent, to intercept or possibly commandeer the Odyssey and its precious cargo of data and artifacts. Unaware of the impending danger, the Odyssey continued its exploration. Elara and her team worked diligently, cataloging each find, each revelation about their ancient forebearers. But it was not just the past that occupied their thoughts. The present was equally on their minds. Reports of ships missing in nearby sectors hinted at a larger conflict brewing, possibly related to the discovery of the ancient fleet. In a strategic move, Elara reached out to several alien civilizations that the Odyssey had previously contacted. Sharing knowledge of the ancient human interactions with other species, she hoped to foster alliances, or at least ensure their neutrality in any forthcoming conflicts. The response was mixed, but several species expressed interest in learning more, intrigued by the implications of a shared history with humanity. As the Odyssey approached another set of coordinates, this time leading to a seemingly uninhabited system with a dormant black hole at its heart, the tension among the crew was palpable. They were on the verge of yet another significant discovery, but the shadows of unknown adversaries loomed large. Captain Hargrove tightened security protocols, and the crew remained vigilant, aware that each new discovery made them more of a target. "Keep your eyes open," he warned. "We're not the only ones interested in what we're finding out here." The Odyssey's journey into the past was becoming a race against time, as forces converged on their position, each eager to claim a piece of history that could redefine the galaxy's future. The next discovery could tip the balance, but at what cost? As the Odyssey approached the dormant black hole, the starship's sensors began to struggle against the intense gravitational pull and electromagnetic distortions. The system was eerily silent, the usual chatter of cosmic radiation and solar winds subdued by the black hole's overwhelming presence. "This is it," Captain Hargrove announced, his voice steady over the ship's intercom. "All hands, prepare for a potentially rough entry. We're about to make history, or become it." Dr. Elara Miles was in the main lab, calibrating the instruments to ensure they could capture as much data as possible without succumbing to the harsh conditions. Beside her, Liam Russo was studying the star maps and ancient logs, looking for any mention of this peculiar system. "The logs are cryptic about this place," Liam noted, his brow furrowed. "It's referred to as the Cradle of Shadows. There's something here, something important to them, but the details are vague, almost intentionally obscured." As the Odyssey edged closer, the black hole revealed its hidden treasure, a series of metallic structures floating perilously close to the event horizon. These structures were unlike any they had discovered before. They were sleek, dark, almost completely absorbing the light around them. Could these be some sort of research stations? Elara speculated. Maybe they were studying the black hole or using it for energy. Or something else entirely, Liam added. Something worth coming this close to the edge for. With extreme caution, the team deployed a remote probe, designed to withstand intense gravitational forces, to investigate the structures. The probe sent back initial images that showed clear signs of habitation, living quarters, research labs, and something more unsettling. A large central chamber with walls covered in the same intricate script they had seen before, but with sections that glowed ominously red. "This script isn't just informational, it's functional," Liam said, his excitement tinged with a hint of fear. "It might be a control mechanism or even a containment field." As they deciphered the glowing script, the truth slowly dawned on them. The ancient humans had not merely been studying the black hole, they had been trying to harness it, possibly as a weapon or a power source of unimaginable scale. But their time was running out. The covert fleet dispatched from Mars was closing in, their approach masked by the black hole's electromagnetic interference. Captain Hargrove received the alert from the sensor team and immediately convened a meeting. "We've got company," he declared grimly. "Unknown vessels, likely hostile, on an intercept course. We need to wrap up our operations here and prepare for possible engagement." Ilara protested. "We can't leave now! We're on the brink of understanding." "I know, Doctor," the captain interrupted, "but we're no good to anyone blown out of the sky. We need to secure what we've discovered and prepare for defense, maybe even use what we've learned here as leverage." The crew hurried to download as much data as possible from the probe before recalling it. Preparations were made for a potential confrontation. The Odyssey's defensive systems were powered up, and all non-essential personnel were moved to secure areas. As the enemy fleet emerged from the shadow of the black hole, the Odyssey's crew braced themselves. They were not just fighting to protect their ship and their lives, but the secrets of humanity's ancient past, poised on the brink of either revolutionary discovery or catastrophic loss. With the dark silhouette of the black hole behind them and the approaching fleet ahead, the Odyssey stood ready, a lone sentinel in the vastness of space, guarding the shadows of human history. The Odyssey stood at the brink, poised between the immeasurable gravitational pull of the black hole and the advancing covert fleet. The crew's tension was palpable, each member aware that the stakes had risen far beyond their initial scientific mission. The discoveries about humanity's ancient spacefaring capabilities, potentially as a dominant interstellar force, had now attracted dangerous attention. Captain Hargrove surveyed the tactical displays, the enemy ships now clearly visible against the backdrop of deep space. "Communications, open a channel to the approaching fleet. Let's see if they're willing to talk before we start shooting." Dr. Ilara Miles stood beside him, her focus split between the data they'd gathered and the impending threat. "We need to ensure the safety of this information. It could change everything we know about human history and our place in the cosmos." The communications officer nodded, her voice steady as she broadcast the message. "Unknown fleet, this is the Odyssey. We are on a peaceful scientific mission. We urge you to disengage and open dialogue." There was a tense pause, the seconds stretching long and thin. Finally, a response crackled through. "This is Commander Voss of the Terran Colonial Defense. We are here to secure the assets you've discovered and ensure they are protected against any threats, including from yourselves." Captain Hargrove frowned. "We are not a threat. We are registered under the Galactic Heritage Foundation and operate under the jurisdiction of Earth's Space Exploration Authority. Any aggressive action you take will be considered an act of piracy." Commander Voss's reply was curt. "We see it as an act of preservation. Stand down and hand over your data and artifacts." Knowing they were at a disadvantage, Hargrove turned to his crew. "Prepare for evasive maneuvers. Dr. Miles, continue downloading as much data as you can." Ilara nodded, rushing back to her station to maximize the data transfer from the structures around the black hole. Meanwhile, Liam Russo worked frantically to encrypt and hide the data within the ship's redundant systems, hoping to preserve it against capture or destruction. As the standoff continued, a third party entered the fray. The alien species Ilara had previously contacted for alliance or neutrality had been monitoring the situation. Viewing the aggressive move by the Terran fleet as a destabilizing act, they decided to intervene. Without warning, a fleet of sleek silver vessels emerged from hyperspace. Their designs were unknown to both human fleets, marking them clearly as non-Terran. The lead ship broadcast across all channels, its message clear and authoritative. "This is Ambassador Yael of the Intergalactic Council. We have been alerted to a potential violation of space treaties and human rights by the Terran fleet. We stand with the Odyssey in the pursuit of knowledge and peaceful exploration." Commander Voss hesitated, his fleet now caught between the formidable black hole and a new, technologically advanced alien force. "We do not wish to engage in combat, but we must secure that data. It is of vital security interest to humanity." Ambassador Yael was unmoved. "Humanity does not benefit from the hoarding of knowledge or from threats of aggression. Stand down and allow the Odyssey to proceed with their mission. This is now a matter of interstellar law." Caught in a diplomatic and military standoff, the Terran fleet had no choice but to withdraw, though Commander Voss transmitted a warning. "This isn't over. We will be watching." With the immediate threat averted, thanks to the timely intervention of their new allies, the Odyssey resumed its mission. Ilara and her team continued to explore and document the structures around the black hole, aware that their mission had grown far beyond initial expectations. The universe was watching, and the shadows of the past had never been more relevant to the future of humanity. With the immediate threat from the Terran fleet neutralized, thanks to the intervention of Ambassador Yael and the Intergalactic Council, the atmosphere aboard the Odyssey shifted from tense standoff to fervent investigation. The crew, relieved yet still vigilant, dove back into their research with renewed intensity. Dr. Ilara Miles and her team focused on the mysterious structures orbiting the dormant black hole, now referred to as the Cradle of Shadows. The central chamber, with its glowing script and elaborate diagrams, held particular interest. The script, they discovered, was not only a form of written record, but also an active interface with the black hole itself. "This isn't just a research station," Ilara concluded, her eyes wide with amazement as she interfaced her tablet with the holographic display. "It's a control center. Our ancestors were trying to manipulate the black hole's properties." Liam Russo, working alongside her, translated the glowing inscriptions. "It looks like they achieved partial success. There's mention of energy extraction and something about harnessing the void's whisper. I think they were using the black hole as a power source and possibly a means of communication across vast distances." The implications were staggering. If humanity had once harnessed the power of a black hole, what had stopped them? And more importantly, could such technology be safely rediscovered and used? While Ilara and Liam delved deeper into the ancient technology, Captain Hargrove maintained communication with Ambassador Yael, discussing the political ramifications of their findings. "We've uncovered technology that could change the balance of power in the galaxy," he stated during one of their transmissions. "We must handle this delicately or risk sparking a war." Ambassador Yael agreed. "The Council proposes a joint research initiative. We offer protection and scientific collaboration in exchange for shared access to the findings. This way, no single entity can monopolize the power of the Cradle of Shadows." Back on Earth and across human colonies, news of the Odyssey's encounters and the ancient technologies being uncovered caused a surge of nationalistic fervor and fear. Debates raged over the rightful ownership of the ancient fleet's secrets, with many arguing that such power should belong to humanity alone, while others pushed for a more inclusive approach, fearing the consequences of hoarding potentially cataclysmic technologies. Amidst this galactic political turmoil, the Odyssey team worked to secure the site. Using the ancient scripts and the station's technology, they managed to stabilize the black hole's fluctuations, which they learned were artificially induced as part of the ancient experiments. "This was a laboratory," Ilara explained during a team briefing. "They weren't just using the black hole. They were studying its very nature, trying to understand and possibly replicate the conditions needed for their technology." With the research ongoing, Ilara proposed sending a detailed report back to Earth, outlining their discoveries but withholding sensitive data until a framework for sharing and protection could be established. The crew agreed, wary of sparking undue interest from other potentially hostile factions. As they prepared the report, an encrypted message arrived from Commander Voss of the Terran fleet, now regrouped at a safe distance. "Dr. Miles, we need to talk. There are things you don't know about your mission, threats and players in the shadows. Meet me at the neutral zone coordinates I'm sending." Torn between the pursuit of knowledge and the need for safety, Ilara weighed her options. Meeting Voss could provide insights into the Terran fleet's motivations and the broader galaxy's political landscape, or it could be a trap. After a tense discussion with the crew and a secure communication with Ambassador Yael, Ilara decided to accept the meeting, but on her terms and with precautions in place. The Odyssey would continue its mission, guarded by their new allies, while she sought out the hidden truths that seemed as deep and dark as the black hole they orbited. Thus, the next chapter of their journey began, with the Odyssey not just uncovering the past, but navigating the precarious currents of interstellar politics and the looming shadows of ancient and modern secrets. DB. The Odyssey drifted silently through the void, its crew on edge as they awaited Dr. Ilara Miles's return from her clandestine meeting with Commander Voss. In her absence, Captain Hargrove maintained a cautious vigilance, keeping the ship's systems on high alert and ready to respond to any potential threats. In a dimly lit conference room, Ilara faced Commander Voss, the tension between them palpable. "You wanted to talk," she said, her tone a mix of curiosity and suspicion. "What do you have to say?" Voss, his expression grave, wasted no time in getting to the point. "You and your crew are in grave danger, Dr. Miles. The Terran fleet is not the only faction interested in the ancient fleet's discoveries. There are shadowy organizations, factions that operate beyond the law and seek to exploit the technology for their own gain." Ilara's brow furrowed. "And what does this have to do with us?" Voss leaned in, his voice low and urgent. "Your continued investigation threatens their plans. They will stop at nothing to silence you and secure the technology for themselves. You must be vigilant, Dr. Miles, and trust no one." His words sent a chill down Ilara's spine. The idea of shadowy organizations lurking in the depths of space, willing to resort to violence and manipulation, was unsettling. But she couldn't dismiss Voss's warning outright. Not when the events of recent days had shown just how high the stakes were. "Who are they?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Voss hesitated, as if weighing his next words carefully. "I can't say for certain. Their reach extends far and wide, their influence ingrained in the very fabric of human society. But I can offer you protection, resources, a way to ensure that your mission isn't derailed by those who would see it fail." Ilara considered his offer. On one hand, Voss was a member of the very fleet that had attempted to seize control of the Odyssey and its discoveries. On the other hand, his warning seemed genuine, and the threat he spoke of was all too real. "I'll need time to think about it," she finally said, rising from her seat. "Thank you for the warning, Commander. I'll be in touch." As Ilara made her way back to the Odyssey, her mind raced with possibilities. Could she trust Voss and the Terran fleet to protect them? Or were they simply offering a different kind of manipulation, a way to control the narrative and the technology for their own purposes? Back on the ship, Ilara convened a meeting with Captain Hargrove and the rest of the crew, relaying the details of her encounter with Voss. The atmosphere was tense as they debated their next course of action. "We can't afford to ignore this threat," Liam Russo insisted, his voice firm. "But we also can't blindly trust Voss and his people. We need to gather more information, assess our options, and proceed with caution." Captain Hargrove nodded in agreement. "Agreed. We'll maintain our vigilance, continue our research, and keep our allies informed. But we won't let fear or paranoia dictate our actions. We'll stay true to our mission and the pursuit of knowledge." As the Odyssey resumed its journey through the stars, the shadows of hidden agendas and unseen dangers loomed large. But amidst the uncertainty, there remained a glimmer of hope that the light of discovery would prevail, illuminating the darkest corners of the cosmos and guiding humanity towards a future of understanding and unity. As the Odyssey pressed on through the vast expanse of space, the crew found themselves caught between the allure of discovery and the ever-present specter of danger. Dr. Ilara Miles and her team delved deeper into the mysteries surrounding the ancient fleet's technology, while Captain Hargrove and the rest of the crew remained vigilant, wary of the shadowy forces that lurked in the void. Ambassador Yael and the Intergalactic Council continued to offer their support, providing the Odyssey with valuable information and resources to aid in their research. Yet despite their best efforts, the true extent of the threat posed by the clandestine factions remained elusive. Meanwhile, back on Earth, political tensions reached a boiling point as rival factions vied for control over the ancient fleet's discoveries. Debates raged in government chambers and corporate boardrooms, with each side seeking to exploit the technology for their own gain. In the midst of this turmoil, a new player emerged, a charismatic figure known only as the Oracle. Claiming to possess knowledge of humanity's true origins and destiny among the stars, the Oracle garnered a fervent following, drawing support from across the galaxy. Rumors swirled about the Oracle's enigmatic background and the source of their seemingly limitless knowledge. Some hailed them as a visionary, a beacon of hope in uncertain times, while others viewed them with suspicion, questioning their motives and agenda. Unbeknownst to the crew of the Odyssey, the Oracle had taken a keen interest in their mission, seeing it as a pivotal moment in humanity's journey towards enlightenment. Through their network of followers and operatives, they sought to manipulate events from behind the scenes, steering the course of history towards their own inscrutable ends. As the Odyssey continued to uncover the secrets of the ancient fleet, the lines between friend and foe blurred ever further. With each new revelation, the crew found themselves drawn deeper into a web of intrigue and deception, where the true nature of humanity's legacy lay shrouded in darkness, waiting to be unveiled. DB. The Odyssey sailed through the cosmic seas, its journey marked by discovery, danger, and the ever-present shadow of uncertainty. As the crew navigated the complexities of interstellar politics and pursued the enigmatic secrets of the ancient fleet, they found themselves on the precipice of a revelation that would reshape the course of human history. Dr. Ilara Miles and her team continued their research into the ancient technology, unraveling its mysteries piece by piece. With each breakthrough, they uncovered tantalizing glimpses of humanity's past and the potential it held for the future. Yet, with knowledge came risk. As the forces that sought to control the ancient fleet's power grew ever more determined in their pursuit, Captain Hargrove, ever the steady hand at the helm, led his crew with resolve and determination. Despite the myriad challenges they faced, he remained steadfast in his commitment to the principles of exploration and discovery. For him, the Odyssey was more than just a ship. It was a symbol of humanity's boundless curiosity and indomitable spirit. As the Odyssey ventured deeper into the unknown, it became increasingly clear that their journey was about more than just uncovering the secrets of the past. It was about forging a new path forward, one guided by the lessons of history and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. But as they delved deeper into the mysteries of the ancient fleet, the crew began to realize that their mission was far from over. For beyond the horizon of known space lay untold wonders and untapped potential, waiting to be discovered by those bold enough to seek them out. And so, with hearts full of hope and minds ablaze with possibility, the crew of the Odyssey pressed on, their destiny intertwined with the echoes of the past and the promise of the future. For in the vast expanse of the cosmos, where the stars themselves whispered secrets of ages long gone, there lay the key to humanity's ultimate destiny, a destiny written in the stars, waiting to be fulfilled.